Hi guys, welcome to another Get Out Fitness video. This is a slightly different video to what has been produced recently. Today I'm going to show you some of the drills and movements that I use to help develop my handstands. This isn't a handstand tutorial like do this to this to this to get that. This is simple. This is simply just a series of movements, a couple of holds and exercises that will help strengthen up the shoulders, help with core control and balance, and generally help you kind of feel comfortable being upside down. I think there's about 4 or 5. I think I've got them written down on a piece of paper somewhere, but yeah, it's about 4 or 5 different movements. With each one you want to spend a few minutes, about 5 minutes on each drill, maybe 5 to 10 depending on how long it takes. And yeah, just kind of go through them, work on them, add them to what maybe you're already doing to help develop your handstand, and hopefully you'll find yourself inverted and upside down. So this first movement we're going to do, you need something to put your feet on. I'm using a chair, but you can use a set of stairs, your sofa, a table, if you feel comfortable putting your feet on a coffee table. This does move around a bit, so you know it will kind of tilt a little bit whilst I do this exercise. Ideally, you're going to do it on a more secure structure, like something heavy, a coffee table, your chair, your sofa, sorry, or even better, your set of stairs, because they're not going to move at all. But what we're going to do is kind of get our shoulders used to being inverted and locked out. And how we do that is we put ourselves into a push-up position or a decline push-up position on the bench, and we try and just stick the bum up in the air and put our head in between our arms. So we just stick the bum up, put the head in, come back down, come up, come in. You can see that my chair is just moving slightly, and come back down. You may want to do about 5 or 6 of these at a time. And last one. And down we get. From the front, if I just move this round here, you'll see that I'm trying to stick the bum up into the air and trying to push my head right through the arms. So I come a bit closer, the bum goes up, sticking the head between the arms, and more importantly, you can see that my hands are about shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider. So I'll just do a couple more, just bump up, come back down, last one, and as easy as that, guys. So that's the first movement. Second movement, I'm going to say it comes in 2 parts. The first part is the frog stance. It's got a long yoga name that begins with B, but I can't pronounce it. If you know any yogis out there, show them and they can kind of tell you what it's called. But what we're going to do, right down on the ground, you can put like a cushion just in front of you if you kind of fear that you're going to hit your head off the floor, but trust me, it's not anything you should worry about. But you want to have your hands about shoulder width apart, place them down on the floor, fingers spread out nice and wide, and from here you're going to put your knees just above the elbows. If you can put them higher, great. We'll start off with place them above the elbow point, and all you're going to do is lean forwards, lift one foot up, and then try and lift the other foot. And we're just going to hold this here. Technically, you are doing a handstand now, because you're on your hands, not your feet. And you're just going to keep holding until you feel that you can't go any further. And then just put the feet back down on the floor and relax. And what this is doing, guys, is help building the strength in the forearms, in the core muscles. That's going to aid you when you do a full extended handstand. Like I said, technically that is a handstand, your feet are off the floor, but I know what we're looking for is a handstand with our feet nice and high in the air. You can, if you've got the strength and the ability to do it, is straighten the arms out. So as we did our first one, the elbows kind of bent and we kind of levered over the elbows. If you can, straighten the arms out. You may want to have your hands a bit closer together, a bit, just underneath shoulder width. Same principle applies. Lean forwards, but this time keep those arms locked and point the toes up. And then once you're ready, just come down and down. Like I said, if you want to put a cushion down, you can put a cushion, just to kind of give you that safety blanket if you do go forwards. But trust me, if you're right here and we're in this position, just coming forwards, is head on the floor. That's all it is. Just put your head down and you can still balance in that position. Maybe not. Try not to do that on a solid floor on purpose. So that is kind of part one. Part two is a lot more difficult, but again, it's strengthening the key muscles used in the handstand, the forearms, the shoulders, and the core muscles. What we're going to do here is a tuck planche. Planche, I think it's called planche. It's a kind of French name, French term. And basically, we're going to have our hands. We're going to be kneeling down, knees and feet, hands on the outside of the knees, just behind the knees, not in front. We're just behind the knees. And this is literally, depending on your strength, is either going to be a millisecond or a second. That's all we're looking for, is just to lift everything up and lower back down. As simple as that, guys. You will feel it in the wrists. If you do have some powerlets or some dumbbells, that will protect the wrists, but most handstands are done flat on the floor, so you might as well get used to that. Again, I'll show you one more time, or a couple more times. Keep those arms straight, locked out, lean forwards a little bit and lift everything up. Come back down. You want to keep your feet tucked in towards your bum, and you're basically just lifting your hips up in the air. As you get better, you can hold a little bit longer and then come back down. So these next few movements are your more handstand kind of movements, where we're going to be upside down in an inversion, feet up in the air. What we're going to do is use a wall for one of them, hence why we changed location. I didn't want to be putting my dirty trainers on a white wall, so we have a stone brick wall to use. If you've only got a white wall at home, take your trainers off, do it in your socks. Try not to annoy your partner or annoy yourself when you see some dirty trails going up the wall. So, this first movement, guys, the first movement we're doing in a proper handstand is a wall walk. You're going to put yourself in a push-up position, feet against the wall, and all you're going to do is walk your feet up the wall and walk your hands back until you're just a couple of inches away from the wall itself. You're going to hold that for a few seconds and then control it back down. So walk those feet up. As the feet go up, take the hands in, point the toes, hold for a second, and then come back down. Try and control the feet. Don't just drop the feet down, try and control it. And what we're doing is we're strengthening the shoulder through a range of movement that you'll find in your handstand as you push up into it. You're strengthening a different range of movement every time you take a little hand step in and your feet go up. So we'll do another one. Nice and controlled, feet up, small steps. And bring it back down again. Relax there. What we're looking for when we're against the wall, you want to try and get your head in between the arms, as in with the first exercise we did with the chair. Try to put our head in between the arms, get the body as straight as possible, because that's what we're looking for in a handstand, is everything just to be straight, pointing up, and as solid as possible. And there comes the lights. Unfortunately, where I am, the lights are on a timer. If I don't move around enough, they switch off. So this last movement, it's going to be two different movements, or two kind of drills in the same movement. It's where we kind of kick ourselves into a handstand, where instead of lifting both feet, we just lift the one, and we leave one foot trailing behind. And what that does, it stops us from over-rotating and gamboling onto our backs, which is what we don't want to do. We want to be able to go straight up and come straight back down in the same direction. So we'll do a quick little demonstration and then we'll talk through it. So it's as easy as that, guys. One foot goes up. Try and get it as straight as possible. Don't worry if it's not though, we're not looking for perfection. And one leg stays down. And what that leg does is anchors you to this side, to your left or right, whichever side you're going on. It'll anchor you to the side that you're going into to stop you from going over. Again, try and push that one leg straight up and then come back down on the opposite leg. So I'll do it again. One leg goes up, one leg stays down, and bring it down. You can start off with a small movement where you just push and just get into that movement just like that. One, don't have to go too high, or you're trying to progress. So eventually the leg goes high and higher and higher, and you'll feel that balance point and back down. Hopefully with all the other drills that you've been working on, your arms should be nice and strong and able to lock you in that position. You don't want to be bending the arms at all. The next movement is when we switch the feet up. So what we do, down, feet up, switch, and bring down. So you're now kind of moving that central balance around, playing around with the feet, getting that kind of few seconds in the air. I'll do another demonstration. Come up and switch and come down. Again, we're not looking for perfection. I'm not a gymnast. I can't do a perfect handstand with everything completely locked out. If you want to do the perfect handstand, you need to go and join a gymnastics club, because that's how you'll get the skills to do that. But for a general handstand, this should suffice. Try and work both legs, so kick with both feet, opposite foot, and switch. Start off low, and then try and go that a little bit higher. Push up, switch, and come down. Just getting used to the handstand without having to gambol over. What you can do, a third movement, if you're very comfortable with it, you can then come up, bring the feet, top and then lower down. So go into your handstand with one leg, bring the other leg up to meet it, and then bring the other one down and come back to the ground nice and safely. So up and back down. And as you get better, that split second with the feet at the top becomes a second, becomes 2 seconds, becomes 3, and then hopefully you can just kick into it and hold, and then bring it down nice and safely without gamboling, without cracking your head or the back of your neck on the floor. So those are my kind of drills that I use on a regular basis. There are some others who come a little bit closer. There are some other exercises I use, but these are like the 5 core movements. As you can see, I'm a little bit out of breath. I don't know if it's just tiredness from my heavy weekend. That's not heavy weekend of drinking, heavy weekend of fitness, or I'm just unfit. Anyway, give them a try, guys. Try and spend a few minutes on each one. Maybe incorporate it into the start of your workout, not the end of your workout, especially if it's a tough workout, because you want to kind of you don't want to be doing this whilst tired. You want to try and do it whilst you're fresh. So give it a try. Let me know on my social media or on YouTube or on the website how it's gone. Post some pictures, tag me in it. It'd be nice to see how you guys do. As always, stay safe, stay fit, take care.